folks, good morning and welcome to my live stream. Can you guys hear me loud and clear? Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me loud and clear or not. Hey folks, welcome to my live stream, and can you guys hear me loud and clear? Let me know in the chat if you can hear me loud and clear or not. Hey folks, good morning. Can you guys hear me loud and clear? Let me know in the chat. Is my audio and my stream clear or not? Thank you so much. So let's start. I'm looking at dollar here, and on dollar I'm on hourly chart. Okay, so let's go back to the 4-hour chart. You can see that on dollar price generated relative equal low, so that's what I'm looking at, this relative equal low. And I'm on 4-hour chart, and you can see that we also do have a volume imbalance here, right? So what I want to see, this candle right here on 4-hour chart, there's a 4-hour volume imbalance. Price should remain below this volume imbalance if it want to hunt this relative equal low. Okay, I'm looking at this relative equal low as a draw on liquidity. So let's see what happens, and I want to see price remaining below this volume imbalance that I'm outlining here on 4-hour chart. Let's go back to the hourly chart. Yeah, so this candle that opened, it can come up to this volume imbalance, retest this volume imbalance, right? Look how beautifully this volume imbalance aligns with the order block on hourly chart. So my expectation for dollar is something like this. Okay, price can reverse after that, as we have a 8:30 news. That's a high impact news. So I'm at least expecting price to come down here, right? Because we do have this relative equal low, and we know that relative equal low is like a strong pool of liquidity. That's a strong level of liquidity for price to come down, and price already showed a willingness to come down, right? Price hit this order block on hourly chart and then got rejected aggressively. Then there was a fair value gap, that's the CB, right? And price also used it as an inversion here. You can see it here clearly price retested this fair value gap, and now I want to see price retesting this order block, or if it doesn't do that, it's okay. If it just remaining heavy towards the sell side, that's okay. But if it's coming up, I'm not expecting to see price going above this order block and volume imbalance that I marked on 4-hour chart. That's my expectation on dollar. Not much, nothing like special. I just want to see a drop. Let's go back to the US 30. On US 30, I'm expecting a drop on this sell side liquidity, right? So them, both of those pair, dollar and US 30, they're moving together, right? That's the reason I'm not expecting a high probability setup at 8:30. Plus we do have a news release, right? High impact news release. We got unemployment claims at 8:30. So yeah, we'll look for a setup after that at our 9:20 to 9:30 macro. We'll look for a setup. If 9:20 to 9:30 is not presenting a setup, then we will look for a setup at 9:50 to 10:10. Okay, if it does not provide a setup for us by that time, we'll be done for today. So that's what I'm expecting, a run on this BC is on 4-hour chart. Okay, price already came down to the daily fair value gap. This blue line that you see, that's the daily fair value gap high, and that's the daily fair value gap low. And you can see the price already tapped into this daily fair value gap once. Now it's doing it here twice, and I'm expecting to see this low that you see right here that I marked as sell side liquidity to get taken out. And that's an unfilled fair value gap on 4-hour chart, right? So I want to tap into this unfilled fair value gap is very much possible. Now the dollar is US 30 is moving with dollar. Okay, so that's the reason I'm expecting a drop here. Otherwise, if they were like moving opposite to each other, I would have expected a buy. I'm expecting a buy right? But not so early. I want to see a drop at this sell side liquidity first, and then a drop on this fair value gap, unfilled fair value gap is very much possible. If I take you guys on hourly chart, you can see that that's our new week opening gap, sorry, new day opening gap, and price is inside of it. So if price is rejecting, right, if price is not closing a candle's body below the midway and the lower quadrant of this new week opening gap, we can expect to see price coming up and hitting this fair value gap. Okay, I'm not indicating to you to market direction, okay, I'm indicating it to you with logic. If price does that, okay, that's what we will expect. If price does not do that, if price wanna remain heavy, we will expect to see price taking out this sell side liquidity here. Okay, and tap into this unfilled fair value gap is very much possible. That if price is coming down here, right, that will be the midway of this daily fair value gap, so that will be an ideal scenario. Right now price only tapped into the upper quadrant of this daily fair value gap, so when it does that, know that it's a IOFET, institutional order flow entry drill, right? And you can see that price clearly hit the 0.75, the upper quadrant level. So let's see if price is remaining heavy towards the buy side, right? It already did show us that it respects the quadrant levels like here, right? Price came down, didn't even tap into the 0.75 level, and then look at the move towards the buy side. Aggressive, very aggressive, right? So let's see how price present this price action here today in front of us, as we have a high impact news. So with a lot of volatility, right? If it was like just a normal day, I would have expected a run from this new day opening gap. But now that we will see a lot of volatility, so with a lot of volatility, a lot of things can be possible, and that can also be possible like this. Okay, I'm not gonna push any button even if I see a setup before 8:30. Okay, I will just outline to you and we'll watch if that setup gets valid, or if it provides us our TP or not. If it does not do that, okay, just know that I'm not pushing any button on my live funds before the news impact. We will look for a setup after the news. And let's talk about the US 100. On US 100, you can see that that's a BPR here, right? And we are inside of a daily fair value gap. That's the daily fair value gap I marked here. That's the upper quadrant of daily fair value gap. That's the midway, and you can clearly see the price came down to the midway, right? Hit the premium according to the measurement of the fair value gap. That's the premium zone. Price hit it, got rejected. Where did it went back? It went back to an unfilled fair value gap, right? It filled it completely, price filled that gap completely, and then got rejected aggressively towards the sell side. So a run on this sell stop is very much possible, but let's measure this week, okay? I always tell you guys, if you see a big week, always measure it and wait for a rejection in price from the upper quadrant and the midway. If you want to see a strong buy, okay, price can come down to the lower quadrant and then it can reject. But an ideal scenario is always from the upper quadrant and the midway. If price is rejecting from the upper quadrant, know that that's a IOFET, institutional order flow entry drill. And if price is rejecting from the midway, that's an ideal scenario for price to do so. And that's a BPR that I marked. I told you guys, I always tell you guys that a BPR, balanced price range, is a gigantic pool of liquidity for price. If price is not respecting a BPR, right, I want to see right now price remaining heavy towards the sell side, right? So we know that price want to remain heavy towards the sell side. Now the question is from where price can reject, right? Okay, so let's look for that on US 100. On US 30, we already know that from where price can reject. Let me take you back there. I'm expecting a rejection in price from this. After price takes out the sell side liquidity, if it's still volatile, if it's still remaining heavy towards the sell side, right, I want to see price rejecting from this fair value gap, this unfilled fair value gap that we have on 4-hour chart. Right, and that's our new day opening gap, and you can see the price closed the candle's body below the midway. So not me who is expecting a buy from this new week opening gap, new day opening gap. Rather, I want to see how price delivers liquidity. I can see a lot of equal lows here, trend line liquidity here. So yeah, a run on this sell stop, that's what I'm expecting, sell side liquidity. So let's go back to the US 100 and let's see from where US 100 can reject Nasdaq. So Nasdaq already came down to this fair value gap, right? That's on hourly chart. I don't see anything here though, anything significant. Let's look at the price action next to it. So a place for your Nasdaq to reverse would be this fair value gap that you see, right? That's the all fair value gap, and price didn't respected it. Okay, price came up. Look at the candle next to this fair value gap here. That's a CB, right? Look how price rejected. Sorry, didn't respected this fair value gap. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wait and see if price respect this fair value gap as an inversion right now. Okay, it looks like a good place for me for price to reject. Okay, price is coming down aggressively. We can expect that aggressive move at 8:30, right? Unemployment claims. I saw aggressive move in that news in past, and so that's the reason I'm expecting a run on this fair value gap. That's the inversion fair value gap. So a question from newbie can be like, okay, I can mark a lot of fair value gaps. I can see a lot of fair value gaps that fail. So which fair value gap should I mark? Okay, that's a newbie question. That's a very good question. The fair value gap that price is presenting to you. Do you see any other fair value gap here? In this price fractal, do you see any fair value gap? No. Then look back, okay? Because we are inside of a daily fair value gap. If price is going below a daily fair value gap, I'm not expecting that. But if price is doing that, right, then our analysis is wrong. And for me to expect a buy, I also do have logic, okay? I do see relative equal highs here, and tomorrow is Friday. We have at 8:30 we have average hourly earnings, then non-farm employment change. So these are very high impact news, okay? So price can, that's the reason I'm expecting a buy today. If price wanna remain heavy and take out this liquidity tomorrow, it will at least have to generate a little bit of sell side liquidity for tomorrow to take out. If it's offering sell side liquidity today, then even if it's NFP, we won't be able to see price coming up and taking this liquidity here, right? Price will have to generate liquidity to provide liquidity. So that's the reason I'm expecting a run on this low here today, then a short buy, not a run on this equal highs though. Price can come up and take out this relative equal highs tomorrow, as we have high impact news tomorrow too. So yeah, and just be safe if you're like trading on your live funds, because that's also a high impact news day today, right? And tomorrow is NFP, so you want to be safe, okay? You don't want to be losing money that you don't want to. If you are trading, follow your risk management. After all, it's all based on probability, right? So that's the inversion, and I'm gonna mark it. I'll use this inversion once price comes down, okay, takes out this relative sell side liquidity here. If it does not do that, this inversion level is not valid yet. For this inversion to get valid, price will have to take out this so price will have to come down here and provide sell side liquidity below the swing low. Okay, so that's what I'm expecting on Nasdaq. Let's go back to US 30. And on US 30, what do you see? Price is rejecting from this new day opening gap. Let's go back to the 5-minute chart. What do you see here? Price generated relative equal high. What did I told you guys yesterday when I predicted the FOMC move to the tick? What did I told you guys? Price will build liquidity before the high impact news. What liquidity? Fair value gap, unfilled fair value gap, then relative equal highs, right? Do you see unfilled fair value gap and relative equal highs in this price fractal? Do you see it? I know you do, right? We do have an unfilled fair value gap here. I'm on 5-minute chart, so another unfilled fair value gap, a lot of relative equal highs above, and this two blue line that you see, I think it's for 15-minute unfilled fair value gap, or 1 hour. Yeah, that's the hourly unfilled fair value gap. Okay, that's the reason I told you guys I'm expecting a buy, but after price takes out this relative equal low. So let's see what price does. a run on this CB is very much possible. Okay, so let's go back to the 5-minute chart and let's see what price present to us. Okay, price tapped into this fair value gap here, and at the same time when price did tapped into this fair value gap, price took the relative equal lows, the liquidity that price has below this each week. Okay, and you can see the clean rejection, price made a clean rejection here. So if price wanna respect this new day opening gap, it will have to go above, okay, and close the candle's body above these breaker blocks that you see here. Let me mark it for you. That's a swing low, price came down, right, did a stop hunt. That's our new lower low. Where is our breaker block? These up close candles that you see, that's our breaker block. So let's see if price is coming up, okay, and take closing a candle's body above these breaker blocks or not. What do you see on US 100? This green shaded box that you see, I marked it as a BPR, right? Price came down, closed the candle's body below the BPR. Then look at the next two candles. How price retested this BPR, okay? So suppose it wasn't a high peak news day, I would have looked for a setup once price was closing a candle's body below it, and then I would have executed, okay? And this measurement that you see, it was the measurement of the hourly week, I guess. Every concept that ICT has, folks, it can be used as inversion, okay? Everything, a volume imbalance, order block, a fair value gap, a BPR, a breaker block, everything can be used when those concepts fails, okay? When those concepts fail, they offer another opportunity for you in the opposite direction to buy, to sell, okay, to take a trade. And you can see the price generated on US 30, another relative equal low inside this fair value gap. So this stop hunt is not valid anymore. Now the price is rejecting, right? So I'll just close it and let's watch how price takes out these relative equal lows. We are inside of our macro zone, by the way. We do see a breaker block, but this breaker block is not going to be valid because price is doing another stop hunt. And I do see relative equal lows down here. I think price will not reject on Nasdaq from this week measurement, right? Because I'm expecting now that price showing every possible way for me to think that price will hunt sell side liquidity at the 8:30 news release. So yeah, I think price will not respect this weekly measurement that I did. Sorry, the week measurement that I did. But anyway, let's see how price behaves. A run on this fair value gap, this gray shaded box that I marked for you on Nasdaq is very much possible. That's the inversion, remember folks. That's a hourly inversion that I marked. Now the price closed the candle's body below this new day opening gap, right? What does this new day opening gap becomes? It was supposed to provide price the support towards the buy side, right? It failed. It failed to do so. Now the price closed the candle's body below this new day opening gap. What can we expect from this new day opening gap? Price to come up, retest this new day opening gap and dropping real hard towards the sell side, right? That's what I'm expecting to see. So let's see how price does it. A move like this is very, very much possible. It's not a trade idea, it's just analysis how I want to see price. Okay, I'll look for trade ideas after the news impact, not before, because at news impact I tend to get wrong and you cannot execute at news. Okay, like even if you're using the best broker of this world, if you're executing at news, if your trade idea is wrong, it won't, your stop loss won't take care of you, your take profit won't get hit. So yeah, what's the logic behind trading the news? No logic. So let's just wait and observe like how price is presenting to us. That's what I'm expecting. Okay, I'm telling to you guys again, do not push the button based on what I'm saying. Some of you do. Don't do it. Okay, suppose if I was taking a trade from this BPR by using this BPR as an inversion, let's see how would be our reward ratio. How much will be our reward ratio from this BPR, right? Suppose you are putting your stop loss above the BPR, or suppose above this order block. If I was trading, I would have put my stop loss above this order block because it's very, very much possible for a price to come up, hit this order block, mini order block that you see here. And if it does that, my trade idea is wrong. Okay, if it's going above this order block, so that would be a 10-point stop loss, and 2R would be down here, right? So you can easily target the 0.75, the upper quadrant of this weekly measurement. Let's answer some question from chat. Class Air ICT is saying yes, Crystal, and good start. Good idea. Start with Dixie first, and you will never forget. Yeah, that's the reason I started with dollar first. Eric is saying why the middle 4 hour fair value gap as focus on which chart, Eric? What 4 hour fair value gap you are talking about? DJ VIP is saying take a look at hourly. Would you consider that week with that bearish candle a BPR? A week on hourly, is it on US 30? When you guys ask me questions, always mention which chart you are talking about, because I'm looking at US 30, then looking at US 100. Okay, so I think it's on US 30 this week. Yeah, I will measure it, but if price is coming down, okay, going below this low, I'm expecting a run on this sell side liquidity. But it didn't did that. It got rejected from this order block. This last bearish candle is rejecting from it, okay? That's what we are seeing. Let's go back to the 5-minute chart. And a drop is still possible, okay? A drop is still possible from this fair value gap. I'm not outlining this breaker block to you because I'm not expecting this breaker block to provide us a good run towards the buy side, but let's see what happens, okay? Why I'm expecting a drop from this fair value gap? Price has relative equal highs above here, right? So if price is taking it out, price is providing buy side liquidity. If price is hitting this fair value gap, it's providing buy side liquidity twice. Then from where it left like inefficient on sell side, look at the relative equal lows here. It's 2 minutes, and after that we'll have a clean analysis. Let the news hit. Damon 241K is saying, hey Hydra, if price makes an equal high low but doesn't take it out and breaks the breaker block, should we take the trade? I saw a few times the price didn't take the equal high and low and just broke through and continued. Okay, if price does that, okay, suppose now that you are looking here, price leaving a relative equal low, right? Then if price is closing candle's body above this breaker block, that's our breaker block here, okay? So should I take this trade? Me personally, I wouldn't. But just like you, I saw price taking, running aggressively towards the buy side, even it has like a relative equal low, right? So for that, if you want to take that trade, okay, you'll have to have a logic. You'll have to have a clean logic like we do have here. Price came down, hit a fair value gap there on discount. So price did hit the discount pit here, and we do see targets on the buy side, okay? So let's mark this breaker block and let's see if price want to respect it or not. So a trade idea, let's see the news release respect our trade idea or not. A stop loss will be below here, and a 2-hour target can be here, okay? Just an idea. Look at Nasdaq, how aggressively the news hit on Nasdaq, but on US 30 it didn't. So now that I'm considering this breaker block, that's our low, So stop hunt is here, and that's our new lower low that is coming with relative equal lows. Okay, and now what I want to see, price closing a candle body above this breaker block. Let's see if price does that or not. So I'm sharing two analysis with you. I want to see a run up on this fair value gap and then dropping, right? And I also do see a fair value gap that is aligned with this relative equal low. So let's see which one price follows and which one price respect. We are here to learn. Okay, now we are here to learn because of the news impact. So on 1 minute chart, you can see that price gave us a chance to execute, right? At this candle, price closed the candle's body above the breaker block, then price came down, retested this breaker block. So that here would have been your entry. But we are not looking for an entry today. Right at the midway of this breaker of this fair value gap, you should take a partial. That's the midway of this fair value gap, right? So if price wanna reject, it will reject from here. So that's a good place for you to take a partial because we don't see relative equal highs. We do see an unfilled fair value gap. Suppose you are taking a partial here, it's not a good place to take partial, right? Rather, if you are taking a partial here, this price action will provide you at least a little bit of profit. So that's a good place to do so. And on Nasdaq, do you see how beautifully price respected the measurement of the wick that I did? I wasn't expecting it, to be honest. I told you guys that I'm not expecting it, but price did it. Okay, and you can see the price rejected from the upper quadrant. So what does that mean? That's the IOFET, institutional order flow entry drill, because price sees those wick as a gap, as a fair value gap, and if price is tapping into a fair value gap of the upper quadrant and rejecting aggressively, what do we see it as? We see it as a IOFET. That's the same thing happening here. So let's see if price wanna remain heavy towards the buy side. If it does that, we do have a clean target here above this relative equal highs and unfilled fair value gap here. So suppose I was taking this trade, I was in this trade. What I will do right now, I will minimize the risk that I have, and I will put my stop loss in my entry. So no risk at all. Price gave me a partial. If price is coming back down here and it's taking me out, very less that I care. Rather than hoping and putting the stop loss here, right? Why take a loss? You should always think about minimizing your loss. That will give confidence in yourself. And you can see the price came up and rejecting from this fair value gap as I expected at first. That's the move that I was looking for. So let's see what happens. Because of this relative equal lows, okay? If there was like no relative equal lows, I would have told you guys, okay, that's a good analysis and I want to see price remaining heavy towards the buy side. Price do have this relative equal high here, right? If I marked it, equal high here. So for me to get bearish again, price will have to come down and take out liquidity from this swing low that price generated here on US 30. That's a swing low, right? If price is not coming down and retesting this fair value gap breaker block again, we are safe and price can come up and do so. Okay, so now that I minimized the risk, okay, there's no risk right now. I can put my TP right here. So now that I took a profit, if price is my stop loss, I don't care. If price hit my TP up there, that's very possible because of this unfilled fair value gap. Do you see it? That's the unfilled fair value gap. That's a CB, and aligned with that we have relative equal highs here. So let's see how price does it, how price provides liquidity here. Another equal low here, and on Nasdaq you can see price is rejecting from this BPR. That's the reason I avoid trading on news impact, okay? Just because of that, I can have a clean analysis, but because of the movement, because of the volatility, it will generate emotion inside me. Okay, like look at this, price generated relative equal lows, so it's very much possible for price to come down and take out relative equal lows, and if it does that, it's very much possible for price to come down and hitting my stop loss too. But on clean day, I don't expect that. I don't see the moves like this on clean day. Look at Nasdaq came up, got rejected, hit this BPR, right, went above the upper midway and the upper quadrant, and then got rejected aggressively. And price is retesting this BPR again. Look at this candle here, this very candle that opened, right? Look how price is retesting this BPR. Rento is asking, you watch macro before starting tape reading? I don't watch macro before starting tape reading. I watch macro when I'm tape reading, when price presents itself. Okay, when price is inside. How am I supposed to watch a macro? A macro is a time zone. It's a time period, 8:20 to 8:30, 10-minute time interval. That's the macro. Okay, if you're saying something like that, yeah, I'm watching it. I'm watching time. Cadrick is saying, you trade Elite Cat CFD. Do you know the difference in price delivery versus features? I don't trade on Elite Cap CFD. I trade on forex.com CFD, but I was trading on Elite Cap. That's the reason I'm using this Elite Cap. And I don't see any difference, okay? It's just like a couple of tick, Chadrick. Other than that, price action is same. Suppose this candle opened here, right, and went below here, below this candle stopped at 33,366. So on features, what it will do, price will just move a little bit lower, like suppose 33,363. 2 or 3 ticks, that's the difference that I see most of the time. So yeah. So right here, you should take another partial because that's what 2 are, right? If you were trading this taking this trade, okay, we just outlined this setup and we want to see how price behaves. If price is respecting our analysis even on high news impact days, that's good, okay? But we will not push the button even if the setup is clear before the high impact news. At high impact news, after the high impact news, we will do so, but not before it. And look at US 100, it's just like manipulating. Look at dollar. Let's look at dollar, how dollar is behaving. Wow, dollar just remained heavy towards the buy side. I wanted to see it's dropping towards the sell side though. I wanted to see a retest of this volume imbalance and then dropping. But what did price did? Price came up, closed the candle's body above, and just delivering towards the buy side. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna avoid looking at dollar because they both are moving together. Indices and dollar, they both are moving together. So that's what I don't like. When price does that and you have a clean analysis on your own chart, just avoid dollar, okay? No break even. What break even? I never put my stop loss at break even. Always entry. Because if you're putting your stop loss here, right? Price will easily come down and take you out. What's the logic to put the stop loss in break even? Do you see a fair value gap here? Yeah, that's a fair value gap, so price can just come down and hit the fair value gap and then reject. So let's see, now that price tapped into this fair value gap, okay, a small tap. If I zoom in a little bit, I think you will be able to see it. Do you see it? This fair value, the candle's low, this candle's low comes in, and look at here. This candle's low comes in at 33,365.67, and this candle's low comes in at 33,364.82, just by a couple of tick, okay? Price tapped into this fair value gap, so let's see if price remains heavy towards the buy side. And if price is coming back here, that's not what I want to see. If it does come back here, okay, I will measure this fair value gap, and I will wait for a rejection in price from the midway. It's getting very slow, right? The volatility, I think, is very low right now. So anyway, we'll wait for our 920 to 930 macro to provide us a clean setup. And on Nasdaq, you can see the price is still rejecting from this BPR. Okay, so that's something that usually on clean days, that's what you don't see. If price wanna reject from this BPR, it will do so. It won't just come down, come up and go above this order block that I told you guys, right? And then it's dropping again. So that's some manipulation that's happening. And when price moves with dollar, okay, we don't see a high probability setup that time. Price will have to move opposite to each other with the dollar and indices. They will have to move opposite. If they move together, that's when you should know and you should expect to see manual intervention or like low probability setup. Why am I saying manual intervention, not manual intervention, like low probability setup? When price does that, moves with dollar, they're moving together, that's the time when you should know that you should expect low probability setup. And suppose you are risking 0.5% per trade idea, that's the time you should risk less in a trade idea. US 500, ES is also rejecting from this fair value gap. And if you seek precision, okay, look for the fair value gap that prices next to it. The fair value gap that failed, put it out on time, extend it out on time, and you will see a price coming up here and rejecting from these fair value gap, these inversions to the tick, okay, to the precision. Price came up here. Look at the precision here. There's a fair value gap, okay. If you are using only this fair value gap, it's on premium, it's okay. But suppose you wanna see more and you wanna learn more, then outline the fair value gap that price is next to it and the fair value gap that failed. That's a CB, right? So BC, right? So price was supposed to provide support from this BC, but it did that? No. So extend that fair value gap out on time and you will see price rejecting from it like this. So that was a SMT, right? Price came down. It wasn't. They both made a lower low, but on this equal low, so there's no SMT. I don't see a SMT here. Yeah, so that's what it does, okay folks. Like price confuses yourself. Price does stuff like this that will make us confused if you are trading with news release, okay. If you wanna trade after news, just wait for like 50-minute, 30-minute. After that, after high impact news release, usually after like 15 to 30 minutes, price will provide clean setup after that. So if you want to trade, just wait for like 15 to 30 minutes, and after that you can find clean setup, but not instantly, okay. After price hits the news move, delivers the news move, price will consolidate, manipulate a lot, then you will think, okay, price is rejecting from this fair value gap, now I want to see price getting price taking out this relative equal lows. But it just won't do that. It will come back up, will go above this fair value gap, right, won't close the candle's body, then will reject again, then it will go again back up. So I want to see price getting out of this range. And on this BPR, this Nasdaq is a clean example for that. What do you see here? This candle was the news move, okay. And after that, after the news, price went up, okay, went above this BPR, then got rejected aggressively. And all of this week that you see, look at the candle's body. That's what you want to avoid, okay. You want to see a clean full candle body for a high probability setup. Here, do you see any clean candles body after the news impact? No, price is just going below, then coming up, then stopping there, going below, right, providing sell side liquidity, then stopping. So that's what we don't want to see in price. To me 28 is saying this is good stuff, Hydra, to see price bounce from the week. It's nothing new. I've literally been outlining weeks in front of you for like last couple of weeks, And you saw price bouncing from the week couple of times live with me. Alexa is saying, would you consider S&P 500 as a breaker plus fair value gap on 5 minute? Yes, on 5 minute chart. This one, right? I won't consider anything right now, but yeah, I do see a fair value. I do see a breaker block here though. Like that's a low, that's a lower low. So these up close candles right here before this down move becomes our breaker block. So if I outline it for you, extend it out on time, and yeah, price is rejecting from this breaker block, and it does have a fair value gap inside it. Okay, but I won't take this trade. I won't suggest you to take this trade because me personally, I follow my rules strictly. I don't know about you. What my rule says, do not push the button after 8:35 till 9:20. Okay, you can push the button after that, but don't push it right now. Why? Because from my experience, folks, I saw price presenting a clean setup like this in front of me, right? As a trap. It's a trap. And then price coming down, taking me out so many times. Most of the loss that I took is from 8:35 till 9:20. That's the period. Okay, most of my loss. I have been when I started my trading journey, I've been trading US 30 like for 2 years, and I've always been an AM session trader. I never traded London session, never traded Asian session. I'm basically more focused on AM session, and most of the losses that I took is from 8:35 till 9:20. So even if I'm looking at a clean setup like this year, I won't take it. And I do have another reason today, 8:30 high impact news. So yeah, not me who's gonna take a setup, but we can analyze it. Okay, we can outline the setup, we can talk about it, we can expect to see price delivering to certain liquidity levels, right? Like look at the liquidity level right here. That's the equal high. So from this breaker block, an easy target would be this equal high or this swing high, right? Me personally, I don't feel anything even if I'm missing a setup, because you don't know when your setup will appear. I do know that every day I will have a setup. And look here, I've been trading in front of you for 4 weeks. How many times I outlined a setup in front of you in my macro zone? How many times? Every single time there was a setup. If there's a no setup, then in another macro I'm finding a setup. But it depends on me if I'm taking it or not. Okay, always remember, folks, I always tell it, a setup is not a holy grail. A strategy, a model is not a holy grail. It's your emotion. You will have to bound yourself in certain rules to make profit in this industry. If you cannot do that, you won't go far. Okay, because every single time if you see a setup, if you push the button, you will lose a lot of money. You will lose emotionally. Okay, and after that, it's easy for chart to take over you. Okay, you will become a gambler once you lose money, a lot of money, and then we'll think like, okay, this strategy doesn't work. It works. You are the one who doesn't work. You are the one who don't follow a rule. So that's the stop hunt. I'm gonna mark it for you. Stop hunt, and then that's a lower low, new lower low. That's our breaker block. And price is providing support. Suppose we took this setup, okay? Suppose we took this setup. We saw price here retesting this breaker block, right? So price gave us 1, 2, 3 chances to push the button here. I'm not talking about pushing the button today, but you will see the same setup repeating itself again and again throughout your trading journey, okay? So suppose we did that. And where will we put our stop loss? Below this breaker block, and target will be 2R. If I'm trading, okay, if I'm taking this setup, that's the ideal scenario. That's like a general knowledge to put the stop loss below the breaker block. But for me, I'll put the stop loss below the lower quadrant or at the lower quadrant. Because if price is coming below this fair value gap again, my whole analysis is wrong. Price should not do that. That's a fair value gap here, right? That's a unicorn setup. So price should not come down below this fair value gap. Even if it's coming down, it should not close the candle's body below this fair value gap. If it does that, my analysis is wrong. So why just hope and make my stop loss bigger? No, I'll put my stop loss below these candles, below this candle, and I'll target 2 hour from here. If you're targeting this swing high, right, it's a 2.5 hour. If you're targeting this equal high, that's 2.34 hour. And if you're targeting this, right, even not this equal high, okay, like you are more safe. If price wanna come up, it can come up and reject from this equal rejection block, because every week that you see, there's a rejection block. And for last couple of weeks, we saw price rejecting from a rejection block, okay. Price generated an equal high and equal low, then it didn't took it. It just came down, took the liquidity from the candle's body, okay. That's the candle's body above there. You are not even putting your TP above there. So if price wanna provide and hit your TP, it will do so aggressively. That's what a breaker block here for, okay. Breaker block is one of the most aggressive entry pattern that ICT has. If your trade idea is correct, if your analysis is correct, breaker block will provide your liquidity, hit your TP aggressively. So now, do you see the reason why I told you after 8:35 till 9:20 price manipulates? You wanna take part in this trade? If you are feeling a little bit of eagerness to take part in this trade, know that you still have a lot to master your emotion. You still have a lot of process, a journey to go through to master your emotion, okay? Trading is all about rule based, okay folks. You will have to know when you should stop. You will have to know when your strategy will work. You will have to know when you will not become emotionally high. If you can know that, like me, you will be able to make profit more than you are losing. Now, do you see the logic why I told you, okay, I will not take this trade. I will not suggest anyone to take this trade, because I don't want to see this movement here. Price retested this breaker block. Price hit a fair value gap inside this breaker block. So what I'm willing to see a run on buy side liquidity aggressive run. That's what I'm expecting to see. That's what a valid breaker block does. Okay, now what do you see? Price manipulating. Suppose you took this trade. What is your emotion right now? I'm asking to you. I'm talking to you. What's your emotion right now? You are emotionally so high. You are hoping, okay, I think it will hit my TP. Okay, let's just hold for a little bit more, little bit longer. Okay, let's do that. Okay, let's see if price hits your TP or not, and let's see if price hits your stop loss or not. The main point of trading to me is not to get emotionally high, because every single time, folks, I've been there. Okay, I'm not like someone who never faced emotion. I faced those emotions. I struggled with those, okay. So every time I was getting high with emotion, every time I was hoping, 85% of those time price hit my stop loss. Okay. So yeah, it's a beautiful creation of human, okay. Like, if you ask me what's the most like advanced creation of a human being, I'll say these charts, because they generated a way to get you emotionally high. Okay, there's drug that does it, but you know that you will get emotionally high. But on chart, you never know when you can get emotionally high at the beginning. After some time, you know how to control yourself. You know when not to push the button. Okay, and the people who know that those are the people who are making consistent money. And the people who don't follow that, they make money once in a while, and they flex on that. You wanna be a consistent money maker. You wanna be an ATM machine. Not just like a retail sheet, okay. So do you see the logic behind me not pushing a trade, pushing a button here, not telling you that I see a trade idea here? Leonard is saying, please Hydra, how did you split your chart with different markets? I can only split one market with different time frame. Really? Because you are not using a premium subscription. You will have to have a premium subscription for that. To do so, I think you are very new, Leonard. SP is saying lot manipulation in morning. Yeah, because of the dollar, they both are moving together. Renato is saying, I'm starting watching you, I'm new here. Okay, welcome. But I don't suggest newbies to watch me. If you are a newbie, go back to ICT's YouTube channel. That's where you belong. Okay, that's your place. That's where you should learn from, not from me. Go back there, okay? Renato and Laurent. Why your name is so complex to pronounce? Laurent, okay? Go back there, every one of you who are new here. You don't belong to me. Sorry for that. Best response ever. You are the one that doesn't work. Yeah, you are the holy grail. Angel is saying, hey Hydra, in that trade, do you take in consideration the higher time frame bias? Bro, I don't see any trade setup here. Here, no. On Nasdaq, no. So me personally, I don't see anything right now. It's just a choppy price action. But as for the question, answer for your question, yes, I do take higher time frame in my consideration. If you have been watching my stream for 3 weeks or 4 weeks, or if you joined this stream when I started this stream, you know that I started my analysis, my whole analysis based on the higher time frame narrative. So if I don't see, if my trade idea is not matching with higher time frame narrative, I won't push the button. First rule, narrative, logic, then time, then target, then setup. So a setup is coming at the end. I'm not newbie, I'm newbie in channel. Okay, welcome. Icy Lemon, my girlfriend left me. Then learn how to make money from this chart, okay? She will come back. Justin, Erwin, hi. Jesse is saying, my wife left me. What are you guys doing? Taljo is saying, Hydra, you have been forgetting about the dollar so much today. You started with dollar first, haha. Yeah, that's the reason I started with dollar, because of that. Because I forget, okay? I do analyze personally the dollar, but after that, when I talk about live stream, I get so much into it that I forget about talking about dollar. So that's the reason I started my live stream with dollar today, but I will avoid dollar today because I told you the reason. It's moving, they're moving together. So once you have a clean analysis on your own chart, right? Forget about dollar. Don't look at dollar. If dollar is moving opposite with your chart, right? Our chart is US 30, US 100, US 500. If they both are moving opposite to each other, that's the time you know that that's a high probability condition. That's when you should consider looking at dollar. When they move together, forget about dollar. Dollar doesn't exist. Okay, that's my perspective. That's what I think, and that's what I believe in. So if you still wanna keep looking at dollar, go ahead, do so. If you find your edge there, good luck. But I don't have an edge at market condition like this. Naeem is saying, how do you consider H15, 9, 10 ICT macro for trade? I don't consider that trade. I see chart at that time as a manipulation, okay? I don't consider this macro. This macro is a low probability macro. If you like tell me to rate this macro, I'll rate it 0. 815 to 910 macro, 0 rating. Marwan Abdo PMP is saying, could you please have a look on gold even very quickly and provide your thoughts? Gold, I hate gold, but still I'll look at gold, okay? Just because you were asking, and I'm a nice person, so I'll do that. Where is gold? Gold is full of shit. I hate gold. On gold, what I see, look at the wick here. Okay, me personally, I'm an equal high and equal low base trader, and what do you see here? Equal high, equal low everywhere on lower time frame. I execute on 5 minute, 3 minute, 2 minute. If I take even 1 minute on gold, look at gold. Gold is full of shit. I don't want to talk about gold. Forget about gold. Don't ask me about gold, okay? On US 30, you can see that price came down. He retested this breaker block again, and now let's see if he's provide a clean setup to us or not. Okay, at 9:30, before 9:30, suppose price came here, okay, at 9:30 I'll look for a short. So that's how I'm looking at market right now. So what I'm thinking, at 9:20 price should come near to these levels, okay, and at 9:20, suppose in between 9:20 to 9:30 price should do a stop hunt here, and once it does that, we'll have a breaker block. Once price goes above this relative equal highs here, we'll have a breaker block somewhere between here, and we will execute based on that breaker block, okay. So let's see if price does it or not, and we will execute on a sell scenario as we have a relative equal low here and a lot of trend line liquidity here. Also keep in mind that, folks, we do have this relative equal highs and the hourly fair value gap that is unfilled. So it will depend on how price is presenting itself in front of us, okay. I don't see a clean setup yet. I outlined this breaker block in front of you, and price is respecting this breaker block, but at the same time price is generating a lot of emotion inside you with this breaker block setup, right? Okay, a clean rejection in price from this fair value gap, right? So our stop loss was below here, so our stop loss didn't get hit. It's an imaginary trade. We didn't took it because of the high impact news, because of the low probability condition, but it's good to see, it feels good to see, even on high impact news, price is respecting our analysis, right? So our analysis was like this: entry here, stop loss below this candle, below this candle's body, not wick, okay, not below this candle's body, and then a 2-hour target. To be honest, folks, I'm not feeling anything inside me now that I missed this trade, okay. This trade would have provided me like a partial, at least a partial. I don't feel, to be honest, folks, like I'm 100% honest with you, I don't feel anything inside me now that I missed this setup, now that it's giving me profit, because every time I felt that, okay, every time I felt that I missed a setup, every time there was a FOMO inside me, I lost the next trade, okay. So it took a lot of time for me to get out of it. It won't happen with you today. It won't happen with you tomorrow, in a week, 2 weeks, in a month. No, it won't get there. It won't take those emotions, won't be able to take those emotions out of you, okay? FOMO emotion, fear of missing out. You will only be able to take it out once you force yourself. Like, okay, you cannot push the button right now. You cannot do it. Once you start talking to yourself like that, that's when you will be able to make consistent money in this market. If I was taking this trade, every one of these candles that coming back down to my stop loss, that will generate emotion inside me, okay. In price, candle is there to provide liquidity on price, on your chart, but in real life it's generating emotion inside you. So if you feel that, if you feel like every candle when it's opening is generating emotion inside you, get out of that trade. Look at the price action here. Do you like it? Every time I outlined a breaker block setup in front of you, every successful breaker block setup, every move was aggressive, every one of those, okay. You saw me outlining clean breaker block setup in front of you live. You saw those setup hitting the TP live in 5 minutes, okay. In 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 10 minutes. 10 is max. The max I'm holding a breaker block trade is 10 minutes. In between that time, price will hit my TPN. What's the time range in between this right here? This whole price action that price did, okay? I think it's price took how much time? 45 minutes. Yeah, 45 minutes. Price is inside this range right now. You don't know that when you should engage. I know that. That's the reason I didn't execute it and outline this trade in front of you. Do you see the logic right now? Price generated equal high. Okay, we know that price will come back, but we don't like this scenario. In a clean day, in a clean scenario, price won't do that. Trust me, it don't. And if you were with me, if you saw me streaming, taking a trade in front of you, know that already, okay? Just follow the rules. Aramas is saying, I was previously so focused on fair value gap and couldn't ever be profitable. Found your channel here and on Twitter, and I started trading breakers and inversion. I'm about to pass my evolution now. Thanks, Hydra. Wow, congrats to you, bro. You are the one who is putting the work, okay? And when you put the work with logic, if you follow the rules, that's how you see the success in you. Bean is saying, hi, can you please explain stop hunt concept? It's explained in my mentor's channel. I think you are very new. You didn't even watch any ICT videos, so you are blocked. I see Lemon is saying, my GF loves gold. She's equivalent to a third. For real gold, for some retail shit is some retail shit. Yeah, I cannot. I don't have an edge on gold, to be honest, folks. I hate gold. Bro, your stream is so entertaining, XD. Thank you. Is it entertaining? I thought it was educative. Marco Veli Kenza is saying, what about Ethereum? Target at 1940 fair value gap. Ethereum, I will look at Ethereum on weekends. So if you're interested in that, you will have to wait for weekends to come, and then we will look for trades on Ethereum. Okay, I'll do live stream on Ethereum on weekends, so don't worry. Remo is saying, do not ask about gold. Yeah, don't ask about gold. Showrob is saying, breaker block on NAS 1 minute. Why are you guys looking for setup right now? I don't get it. I literally have been preaching to you, don't wait for the macro zone to start. 9:20 to 9:30, wait for that time period to start. Everyone here is telling me I see a setup there. I see a setup there. Why? Then why are you watching my stream? Do you want me to block you? And you know I can do that. Vaps is saying, I think funded traders feels a lot of FOMO due to time limits. Use my funded FX. They have no time limits. Shuhail Hakim is saying yes, and the spread MA. Yeah. What about crude oil? Crude oil is bullshit too. I don't trade on crude oil. Why do you need to trade on crude oil? I just don't get it. AF is saying, it's also educative, but you make me laugh every time. I mean, you are not boring when you explain concept. Welcome. Nini is saying, I like your color scheme. Can you share when you get a chance? Yes, I can do that. I have a lot of color scheme, okay? I have this brown here. So the appearance, if you wanna see, that's how I'm using the colors. That's a brown. If you wanna see the color code, that's the color code B76E00. So you can take a screenshot. The borders and the background, okay? Borders, everything is black. The background color code is this one, F2EB. That's a creamy color, okay? It's not white, it's like a creamy thing. So you can take a screenshot. I do also use pink. Do you guys like pink? Like this? I like the color of this, and it looks good, huh? So I'll make everything pink today. Yeah, so everything is pink right now. Hello Hydra, I'm in Forex. Should I shift on index? I don't know. It depends on you. If you have an edge on Forex, stick with it. But if you are confused with Forex, leave it. Rayan Shaw is saying, I blew so many demo accounts on gold, I stay away. You better. I never even looked at gold. I only look at gold on daily chart, okay? Not like lower time frame. I hate gold on lower time frame. Angel is saying, haha, is both. I learn a lot and enjoy the live session. Thank you, bro. Success for you is saying the LGBT BS was entertaining. Haha. Yeah, it's entertaining, but it's also at the same time it's not entertaining. But because every time you guys comment, YouTube put that comment in review. Why? I don't like it, so don't do that. You might don't see me live streaming again if I talk about LGBTQ, okay? Because I already got a warning from YouTube yesterday, and every time you guys type LGBTQ, YouTube puts that comment in review, so don't do that, please. Forget about LGBTQ. They're bullshit, okay? They're haram, they're BS, everything. They're not even real. They're fake. They are hypocrites, psychological disorder. They all of them are disorder, facing with a disorder, okay? Serious disorder. They're psych. They belong to a psych center, but they're out, you know. Anyway, okay, I talked a lot about LGBTQ. Sorry for that. If I hurt you, I'm not sorry. At the same time, I'm sorry. Jesse is saying, wait, lol. Eman, I have heard slippage issue thing in funded accounts. Slippage? I never heard of slippage issue in any funded account. Laurent is asking, bro, if I ask you a question about splitting chart, doesn't make me a amateur here. When ICT himself asked his Twitter audience how to split chart on top step, doesn't make him or his son a new trader. You are not obligated to answer any question, and neither does it means you need to bully the new ones, brah. I'm the one who is live streaming here, and you are the one who is watching. So I'm not bullying you, okay? You asked me a question that seemed like a new to me. Every one of the trader trades on TradingView, and you are not even familiar with how to split the screen. You are blocked. People complain and then they still watch my stream. I don't get it. Why? If you hate me, leave me. I'm not even advertising. I never shared my stream even on Twitter. I'm not doing that. So why? Never come back. Hit that dislike button and leave. Low rand. That's what you can do. That's your motive in this world, okay? To do that. You are good for that. Trevor is saying, come on people, hit the like button. Yeah, do that, folks. The folks who are liking my stream, do it. Are we inside of our macro zone? We are not. So do you see the logic why I told you to wait for 920? Price is manipulating a lot, a freaking lot. Look at this condition here, okay? Now do you see why I told you I'm not interested in this setup? Do you see it now, right? So you saw me calling market before a move happens. You also saw me avoiding a trade that will hit my stop loss in a clean condition. Look at that. It's a clean setup, to be honest, folks. Breaker block, stop hunt. These up close candles becomes our breaker block. Price closed the candles body above, generated a fair value gap, okay? If I take you back on the replay mode, right, that's the replay mode. And what do you see here? That's a very clean setup. That's a unicorn setup, but it failed, right? So it's not a holy grail. I'm proving it live to you. A model is not a holy grail. What do you see? A price closing candles body following our rule to the tick. Then at this candle, it gave you a chance to enter. At this very next candle, it hit this fair value gap and it showed willingness to reject, right? At the very next candle, it manipulated a lot. This very next candle opened bullish. So the folks who were thinking like, who were avoiding this trade, they executed at this candle. Trust me, they did. Okay, at the very next candle, what price did? Price played with their emotion, right? They saw this candle moving towards the buy side after hitting this fair value gap, right? So every retail, every newbie, they're thinking, okay, now I should push the button here. At the very next candle, market manipulated. Market came down, right? And the retails right now, they're thinking, okay, I should hold right now. Price is coming back to this fair value gap. To me, that's what price should not do. When price got above, right, when at this candle, if you guys remember, I told you guys, I don't want to see price coming back down to this fair value gap again. That's what I was expecting. But price did what? Price did a move against my expectation. At the very next candle, price moved towards the buy side again. Generated emotion, hope inside the retail traders. Retail will think, okay, now that this fair value gap is holding, I should buy more. Okay, my trade will hit my TP. I'm so right. Hydra is avoiding this trade. I'm right. Okay, I'm better than him. At the very next candle, price generated a lot more liquidity when it, a lot more emotion inside the retail when it moved here. Okay, and then it rejected, right, leaving this equal high, moved like this. A retail trader is again emotionally high. At the very next candle, what do you see? Price came down, hit your stop loss. Now that move, Now price is playing with your emotion. So you have to know, folk, when price will play with your emotion. You wanna know? 8:35 till 9:20. That's the time period when price will play with your emotion. See it now. I'm proving this to you every single day. Even after that, if you are getting affected by emotion, you really need to work on yourself. That's how I see the chart. Okay, I put a mindset next to me that will think like retail, and I put a mindset that will not think like a retail. And how do I do that? I get out of the mind that thinks about money. Once you get out of the mind that thinks about making money, right? That's when you will discover two persons inside you. A person who is greedy, who is jealous, who is egoistic, who wanna take every single trade, who has FOMO inside him. And you will discover another trade who don't wanna do that. Another trader who don't wanna do that, who wanna be a trader, who wanna dream to become a trader who makes consistent money, who wanna make this profession his only profession. That's the person you should follow, right? And to stick with that person, it takes a lot of time, folks. Trust me, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of patience, a lot of emotional stress. When I was a beginner, I was doing 8-hour shift job, and I wasn't making money from trading, but I was sticking with it. I was sticking with this profession, and every single day when I felt like, okay, this profession is not for me, the person, okay, the another person, that person gave hope inside me. And do you guys know who is that person? It's the inner circle trader. It's my mentor. I used to listen to him every day. I was addicted to his voice, okay? His spaces that he does on Twitter. I was addicted to it. Every single day that I lost hope, okay? I didn't make money. And I was going to the work. I was doing an 8-hour shift, and I was hating it. I was hating that work life. Every single day. I wanted to get out of it so quick. And that person in my ear, he always gave me hope. So if you are looking for hope, if you are like feeling FOMO inside you, right? I know you do. If you are doing that, if you're feeling that, go back, listen to our mentor. Please do that. I'm not the Holy Grail. The setup that I'm presenting to you, that's not the Holy Grail. Psychology, your emotion, that's the Holy Grail. If you know how to control it, if you become good at it, trust me, you will find success in 1 year. You will be able to become a consistent money maker in 1 year. That's a fucking guarantee. People say it takes a lot of time, okay? 3 years, 4 years. No, it does not take that long. Trust me, it's not. I'm a living proof here, okay? I'm not sharing my experience with you all, but when I do, all of you will get surprised. Because I can read better charts better than you. I can call market better than you. I know when I should not trade. How I am able to do that in such a short span of time, because I follow the rules that my mentor's telling me to. Okay, I'm a student of environmental engineering. Okay, so I'm not a retail nerd like you. I know if you wanna become successful in life, you will have to follow rules, and it's scientifically proven. We humans, we generate emotion, a lot of emotion. We are addicted to this emotion. We are high. When you take a drug, okay, if anyone ever took a drug like psychedelic drug like LSD or suppose Molly, ecstasy, you know that drug instantly make you emotional high. So inside us, okay, our mind generates those drugs, the dopamine rush that we have. It's natural. So you will have to understand how to control it. You will have to do it, and that's the process to do it. Go back, listen to my mentor's boring long lectures. Listen to his boring long spaces, okay? Those are the Holy Grail. He makes videos about setup. Those are not Holy Grail. Trust me, those are not. New week opening gap, new day opening gap, fair value gap, breaker block, everything that he has. Enigma. That's not the Holy Grail. Trust me, he will say the same. Holy Grail is you. It's always been you, and you don't know that. You don't trust that, okay? It will do once you lose enough money. Okay, you will keep believing that. So yeah, before you lose money, trust me, believe in the word. The Holy Grail is you. YOU. Okay, always remember that. So okay, I don't see any setup here right now. Now that price failed from this fair value gap, okay, I want to see price using this fair value gap as an inversion and remaining heavy towards the sell side on S&P 500. and targeting this relative equal low, this low that you see here. I want to see price coming down and taking this low out. I don't see a setup at 920 to 930 macro though. Let's go back to the US 30. On US 30, do I see a setup? I don't. I do see this breaker block price respecting it, but let's see if price is coming back up, right? That's the order block that I see here. If price is coming back up and going above this order block, I will look for a trade idea from this order block, and that's a failed fair value gap right now, right? That's a BC, and it's a failed fair value gap. How it's a failed fair value gap? Because price came down, closed the candle's body below this BC, so it failed. Now I want to see price coming back up and closing a candle's body above this order block and going above this fair value gap, this failed fair value gap. Once it does that, I'll use this same fair value gap as an inversion to look for a trade idea. So that's what I'm expecting. Let's see what price does. It's 926. I don't see a setup, to be honest. I don't see anything here. Let's drop down to the 1 minute chart. On 1 minute chart, I don't see anything here too. Price did a stop hunt here. That's a swing low, right? So a stop hunt is here. So according to this stop hunt, our breaker block, okay, let's see where is our breaker block. According to this stop hunt here inside this 5 minute breaker block, that's our breaker block, and it's visible on 5 minute. And where is our breaker block? Our breaker block, let's go back to the 3 minute chart. These down close candles that you see, that's our breaker block. So I will mark this candle right here. That will be the high probability breaker block, right? And yeah, it comes here. So that's our breaker block right here. This down close candle. I think I'm doing something wrong here. Okay, let's wait for another stop hunt. Okay, I think another stop hunt is possible. Look at the rejection in this candle. So let's see how price provides a setup in front of us. Let's not force a setup. Okay, let's wait for a clean setup. If we know that price will present a clean setup every single macro, in every single macro, then why just force a setup and why take a low probability setup, right? I don't do that. If you want to take it, take it. Me, I won't. I already made the money that I always aim for before this week started on crypto. Okay, on crypto I did live stream this week. If you saw me there, I made like more than 5 hours live in front of you. So yeah, I took setup, I pushed the button on crypto in front of you there, and on my first trade that was a winner, second trade that was a loss, third trade on crypto, in between 2 days I made $5. So me, basically, if I'm not pushing any button on my live funds on CFD, I won't regret, because I made my money. I made my ends meet for the week. So whatever I'm gonna get right now, it will be like a bonus for me. So yeah, anyway, let's see what price does. That's an inversion, by the way. That's a 5 minute fair value gap that failed, right? So this fair value gap becomes an inversion. So a setup, I do see a setup on US on ES. I will wait for this candle to open. I want to see this candle rejecting towards the sell side. If it does that, I'll see a trade idea using this inversion. Okay, I do see a trade idea right now, and I'm not taking it. Okay, just a trade idea. A stop loss will be above this, and the target, 2-hour target, will be right here. Okay, it's not a breaker block setup, it's just an inversion setup. So let's see if price provides us what I'm looking for. By the way, folks, I didn't took it. Let's go back to the 1 minute chart. What's the logic behind me saying to you that I see a setup here? Because of this inversion here. I'll not take this trade because price manipulated before in past. Look at the rejection in price here, the manipulation here. Okay, but I want to see, I do see a trade idea, so I want to see how price reacts to it. So a partial in this trade would be, so I think it will hit stop loss before even giving a partial. So let's see what it does. A partial would be the midway, the midway of this week. If price wanna reject, it can come down and reject from this midway. That will be ideal scenario for price to reject, because price will provide liquidity below these candles lows. So that's what I'm expecting to see. Let's see what it does. Do you see why I didn't took this trade? I know how price will generate emotion inside me. You don't know. You need experience to know that. Check NAS 1 minute Hydra. Check NAS 1 minute. There was a breaker block set up. No, price is just rejecting from this BPR, right? I don't see a breaker block set up here, so yeah. But on Nasdaq it's rejecting beautifully. Okay, wait. There's a breaker block, right? And price respected it on Nasdaq. Is it only me who saw it on Nasdaq right now? Or do you guys saw it before price printed it? Do you guys saw this breaker block here? Before I outline it to you, it will be a hindsight analysis. That's what I don't like to do, okay? I didn't saw this breaker block before price did execute it, okay? I didn't saw it. So did you saw it? You saw it? Wow. See, you guys are improving. Wow, I congratulate to you if you saw it. So the breaker block is here on 1 minute chart. This is a higher high, right? Price took this higher high, and this breaker block, this down close candles that you see here becomes our breaker block. Do you see how ES is manipulating? If you extend it out on time, price close the candle's body below this breaker block here, right? Below this breaker block, price close the candle's body here. Then what do you see here? At each of these candles, price gave you a chance to entry. I'm not suggesting you or telling you, or I ever told you to take a trade here or look for a trade because price was manipulating. It was in a high resistance liquidity run. But at 9:30, right, every single day, I tell you guys, every single day there will be a breaker block set up. And now you guys yourself are finding it, right? That's the benefit of tape reading. That's the benefit and the logic behind me not opening a signal service. Trust me, folks, if I opened a signal service in 1 month, I would have like more than 200-300 so people in that signal service, okay? I'm that famous, okay? But I knew that if I do that, you will never be able to see the logic. Now, do you see the logic? You don't need me anymore, okay? You can outline the breaker block setup inside the macro zone by yourself. That's the magic of tape reading. And that's what I'm doing here. You can see that price did hit, close the candle's body below this breaker block, then came down, right? And a partial would have been here. And price did provided a major level of liquidity right below here. Yeah, so if it was a clean day, I would have outlined it in front of you, but anyway, I was basically avoiding trade today. Close it. If you took this trade, close it. And you do you see the logic why I told you I'm not taking this trade on my live funds? Do you see it now? Price wanted to come down, okay? Price showed willingness to come down at this candle, at this candle, at this candle, all of the rejection, but at the same time price manipulated a lot. My analysis was right on US 100, right? I wanted to see price get taking out the sell side, but on US 30 and US 500 they manipulated today, right? Look at the choppiness here. Choppy, a lot of choppiness. Do you see a clean move at 9:30 today? No. So in a clean day, a 9:30 move, what it will do, it will just run towards the buy side aggressively in 3 minutes. In 1 minute, it will hit our TP. That's what I expect to see at 9:30 Judas. Okay, people, they wait for the Judas swing to hit and then trade. I personally, I trade in that Judas. I take part in that Judas. I execute in trade before 9:30. So what I'm doing, basically, I'm predicting the Judas move, and that Judas move is way more volatile than what price does after that. Okay. A retail here, motive is taking, motive positive is saying, but we didn't take action. We are not supposed to take action. You saw the setup in front of you, okay? That's what you were supposed to do. Find a setup before it happens. If you do see that, you should know that you are improving in your skill. And when you have the skill, a setup is easy, folks. If you can outline a setup, a high probability setup, it will hit your TP. So motive positive, you are blocked. I saw it plus SMT. Yeah, I took buys to that breaker this morning UK time. Demo, of course. Okay. Yes, Jazakallah Hydra, Jazakallah Khairan. Morgri is saying, yes, I was it. Scroll up and check when I sent that message. I took a trade on demo as soon as it closed on 9:29. 1 minute candle. Well done, bro. You took it on demo. Well done. Maria is saying, I just choked on my Keko little. I'm dead famous, lol. I love it. Yeah. David is saying, yes, this should be closed as we have SMT with ES and I can go up for a while. But equal highs on US 500. Equal highs, it doesn't matter. Equal highs. The price took it. Price generated another equal high. You don't know when price will manipulate. That's why you are saying something like this. Right now, me personally, I do not like, I'm not thinking about taking any trade. I'll look for a trade setup at 9:50 to 10:10. Okay, that's our next macro. That's the time period I'll look for a setup. Maker is saying, just hit TP, just hit TP. Cheers, love your stream. Wow, you guys took this setup, right? Without me telling it to you. See, you are improving. That's what I like. That's what I'm expecting to see inside you. You are outlining a setup before me outlining to you, and when price going below that, you are telling me, okay, Hydra, we see a setup. Bro, you are improving a lot, and you are improving quite fast, okay? Just keep in mind that to follow the rules, okay? I know you are emotionally high, you are happy because on Nasdaq price did hit your TP, right? But where's the rules? You are not following the rules. You are not supposed to push the button on live funds right now. At this condition, you should be able to differentiate between the high resistance liquidity run, a high probability setup, and a low probability setup. That's the holy grail, folks. Your emotion. Okay, I'm loving that you guys are improving, but at the same time, I'm also getting sad that you are not following the rules. So thanks, bro. You are welcome, bro. Job is saying, sorry, Hydra. US 30 looks clean. US 30 looks clean to you. Okay, take it. I do see a breaker block here. Price did a stop hunt, but at the same time, price generated relative equal highs here. So that would be the breaker block, though. And this is a hindsight analysis because I wasn't able to outline it in front of you before this breaker block got activated. Right, if I was outlining it to you before it got activated, you would have got a chance to enter here at this level, and our TP would have been here at this low. We missed this setup. That's a clean setup that I missed. Anyway, let's wait for 9:50 to 10:10 macro. Let's see if price present anything to us. And on Nasdaq, you can still see that price is rejecting from this breaker block. Right, so suppose if you are still holding, your stop loss is above the upper quadrant or at the quadrant, okay, at the upper quadrant. So if you are still holding this trade, you can take another partial at this candle right here, and a partial is here. A partial would have been done for you, and below this low, look at that, a clean setup that I missed, right? Even though it had relative equal highs. And when did this setup got activated? After 9:35. So I wouldn't be taking this setup, even if I saw it. I wouldn't be pushing the button, because to me, if price is not presenting a clean setup inside 9:20 to 9:35, I will not push the button after that. And this breaker block got activated at 9:39 at the very end. Okay, so no, not me. Even if I was like outlining this to you, I would have told you, okay, take it on demo, not on your live one. So yeah, let's see where price is going on US 500. Let's talk about US 30. Wow, look at US 30, a beauty here. Really, I missed everything today. Anyway, okay, so let's see what price did. Okay, let's analyze our chart. That's a swing high. Price came up. We don't see a relative equal high here though, so that was a SMT. Did you guys saw it? This SMT that price generated on US 30 with this setup. Price did a stop hunt. This down close candle becomes our breaker block. Easy thing, okay? Breaker block, to outline a breaker block, it's easy. Price closed the candle's body below, right? At this candle is closed the candle's body below this breaker block. And then at the next candle, price gave us a chance to enter. Partial would have been here below this low, and our target would have been this sell side liquidity right here. So yeah, it's a beautiful setup, but yeah, I would have been taking it anyway. Thomas is saying, new member, I love your quadrant mappings and psychological comments, particularly when you tell us why not to take a trade. Cheers. Yeah, I do follow my rules strictly, because I know the rules that I made is for me, and for me to not get emotionally high. So you can see the price is rejecting from this breaker block beautifully. And if I project this the standard deviation, okay, this swing high, okay, before this drop, that was the swing high that you should measure on 1 minute chart. So if I'm doing a standard deviation projection towards the sell side from this high to this low, right, you can see that price delivered -1 standard deviation beautifully, -2 standard deviation, beautiful delivery, then -4 standard deviation. Price is still going towards the sell side. Let's see if it rejects from there. Okay, when I started the stream, do you guys heard me saying that a drop on this fair value gap is very much possible? Do you guys heard me saying that on US 30, right? There's a hourly fair value gap that is unfilled. It is inside this daily fair value gap. If you watched my daily bias and liquidity session episode 3, I gave you 3 target. Okay, this target right here was a low probability target, and I expected to see price coming down here. And on Nasdaq, you can see the price is also coming down to the inversion. When I started the stream, I told you guys that a run on this inversion is very much possible. A run on this fair value gap is very much possible. Do you guys remember? So that was like my bias for today, to see a run here, and I missed the setup here. Anyway, let's wait for, it's 9:45. If price is hitting this fair value gap, right? If price is hitting this fair value gap, I will look and wait for a reversal from this fair value gap. And if price is presenting a breaker block, or suppose an inversion fair value gap inside this fair value gap, when it's reversing, I'll take this setup targeting this relative equal high or this fair value gap here. Okay, so now is the time to look for a trade idea from this inversion. Okay, so let's see if price rejects from this inversion. Price already provided a major level of sell side liquidity right here. Price did hit the lower quadrant of this daily fair value gap, so let's see if price rejects from this the lower quadrant of this fair value gap. And what I'm trying to see is looking for liquidity levels. If price is not rejecting from this inversion that I outlined on Nasdaq, I'm expecting to see price reversing after providing liquidity below this relative equal low. And on 1 minute chart, we do have a fair value gap though. Below this relative equal lows, we do have another fair value gap right here. Right, that's the unfilled fair value gap. So I'll just mark it. I'm not expecting price to come down so low here. Basically what I'm doing is I'm projecting a reversal, and I'm outlining like the zones from where price can reverse. That's what I'm doing. Maria is saying even ICT was warning no trades. He is just tweeted pay attention now. Yeah, that's I'm paying attention now. I'm gonna look for a setup right now, and if price present me a setup right now, I'll push the button on live once. I'm expecting a run on this fair value gap first. Maker is saying 850 to 910 macro breaker block setup. I've been backtesting Ethereum USD, but yeah, bro, thanks for teaching the model. Very conscious and to the point. Great content. I liked and subscribed. You're welcome. John Smith, the students have become the teachers. Ryan's, that's a successful teacher, okay, who can make his students teacher in his level. Not in his level, but equivalent, okay. That's that's the teacher you should follow. So you should not follow the students who became the teacher. Rather, you should follow the teacher himself, the real teacher, the mentor. Ryan Shaw is saying US30 worked nicely from that 5-minute fair value gap. Yes, I know, but I wasn't watching it though. Justin Renato is saying I'm analyzing 15-minute. I prefer. Justin Ervin is saying got my 10 handles. Congrats. Alvaro Umbaria is saying, can you check EU? I cannot. I don't want to. First instinct class Air ICT is saying, you have a good spirit and clean heart, Hydra. So many others in your position would run a signal service, but you have not giving us a fish, but teaching us to fish. God bless you. Bro, I'm already making what I always dreamed to make about, right? And the reason that I didn't open a signal service is because I don't believe in signal service. I never saw anyone. I saw people providing signals successfully, but I never saw a student after he stops providing signals making consistent money. Okay, they don't learn from it. So what's the point from doing signal service? And it's a easy setup. Okay, like you just draw some lines, look at higher time frame, and then you were able to execute. What's the point of me coming out and charging money for that? No. Renato is saying that next year inner circle trader will be you, and no one was teaching this like you. Really, you guys don't make me emotionally high, okay? I just want to be a small guy who is here live streaming. I just want to be that person, not like someone who is famous. Because with being famous, there comes a lot of, like negative stuff. And I don't know, like when people will negatively behave to me, will I be able to control my emotions? So I don't want to get famous. What I'm here today, that's enough for me. That's a lot. Smash like people. Yeah, smash like people. 300 people watching, only 100 likes. What's up? What's up, folks? Let's go to 200. So on Nasdaq, I want to see a hit on this inversion. Let's see if price can do that or not. And on US 500, US 500 price took this liquidity level, major level of liquidity. So to me, a run on this sell side makes sense. So I'll focus on US 30 and US 100. I'll just avoid US 500. I don't know why I started talking about US 500 today. I wasn't supposed to, but I did, and I don't know how I got there. And yeah, let's see if price provides a run on this relative this fair value gap right here. This black line that you see, that's a 50-minute fair value gap, but price already tapped into this fair value gap, so a revisit to this fair value gap makes a lot more sense to me. I think that's a, yeah, that's not a 60-minute fair value gap, 15-minute. I think it's a 60-minute though. Is it a 60-minute? Yeah, it's a 60-minute fair value gap. You can see that the fair value gap opens here at this level and it closes here, right? So price didn't hit the 4-hour fair value gap. This green line that you see, that's a 4-hour unfilled fair value gap. Do you see it here? On hourly chart, price tapped into this fair value gap, but on 4-hour chart, price didn't. So that's the reason I'm expecting a run on this fair value gap, but at the same time price revisited our old fair value gap that price generated on 60-minute. Do you see it? The fair value gap opens here, it closes here. So yeah, price just stepped into it here. Now let's go back to the 5-minute chart and let's look for a setup. If price is coming down here and hitting it, it's okay. If price is not coming down here and not hitting it, it's okay too. We can look for setup in both ways, in both scenarios. I don't like this candle. The way this candle closed, I really don't like it. But anyway, let's wait for a setup to present it. So I don't see a setup here. I don't see any breaker block here. Maybe if you drop down to like 15-second chart, you will find a breaker block here, because I do see up close candle and price did a stop hunt here. So on lower time frame, like 15-second, 30-second, you will find a breaker block, but that's not where I'm looking. Price is going above this order block here, and we are inside of our macro. So let's wait for price to show us a clean setup. Look how price is getting support from this order block towards the buy side. Let's see if any of this fair value gap sends price back to sell side again. Do you guys see how beautifully price rejected from the 60-minute old fair value gap? Let me take you back again. There. That's the fair value gap, right? That's the fair value gap. Price tapped into this fair value gap previously, but do you see right now price came down here, tapped into this fair value gap again, and now it's getting rejected. But an ideal scenario would have been a tap into this 4-hour unfilled fair value gap. That's what I was expecting, but price didn't present itself that way. We'll just wait, folks. Perry is saying, I think the key is following rules and follow one model. That's it. See it, take it, add risk management to it. Okay, once you add risk management, what you were saying, Perry, you are right. Just you are missing one point: risk management. What's your thoughts on the weekly fair value gap on US 30? I know there is a daily, but the weekly one has my interest to. Weekly fair value gap, what are you talking about? I'm trading here short term. I'm not trading based on the weekly chart. Okay, so that's a question you need to ask when I do bias session. Okay, not today. US 100 long disc wick on 5 minute 9:30. Okay, on 5 minute. US 500 long wick. Which week? I think you were talking about this week, right? I'm expecting a run back on this week, so I will not measure it. Okay, Thomas. So I'm expecting a run below this low here and a hit on this inversion here. So let's see what price it does. Okay, Mentor is talking about old new week opening gap 40, 86, 75 to 40, 89, 25. Monitor those in there. Okay, Mentor is talking about ES. Okay, so let's go back to ES. Where is ES? Okay, ES is here. He is talking about an old new week opening gap. Where is it? Which new week opening gap? Let's go back to the 5 minute chart. Okay, I'm using a delayed chart. I just want to see what he is talking about. 4086. Okay, my 4086, he's talking about this new week opening gap, and he's saying monitor those in here. Okay, this drop already happened though. So Mentor is saying 40, 68, 75 next downside. 40, 68. Let's see what, based on what logic he's talking about that. Oh my god, I really marked this before he mentioned about it. Really? Am I so good? So I'm also expecting a run on here. On US 500, right? I told you guys that I want to see price coming back down on US 100 and going below this low, hitting this inversion, then reversing. Mentor saying the same exact thing. Do you guys see how every time my analysis matches with Mentor? Okay, not by word, but that's the same logic I'm implementing on other chart. On US 100, I told you guys that I don't like this low. Sorry, on US 30. And I told you I want to see a run on this low again, and that's what you are seeing. That's what my Mentor is telling, right? Okay, because of the delayed chart, I think I don't see it. Okay, because of that. Okay, then let's put the US 500 here. Okay, price is getting rejected from this new week opening gap, right? Yeah, now I know. Because of the delayed chart, should I buy it? Should I buy the subscription of this chart? Upgrade now. It will cost me like $5. Should I buy it? I never look at ES. US 30. Yeah, let's focus on US 30. US 30 did took this hit this fair value gap right here, so let's see what it does. I'll keep focusing on US 100 and US 30 though. We don't have any new week opening gap here. We do have this gap here, new day opening gap on US 30. I'm looking for like if there's any old new week or new day opening gap from where price can get support. We don't have it here. Let's go back to the 1 minute chart. So before this move happened, I told you guys that I want to see price rejecting from any of this fair value gap here. Okay, I was still expecting a bearish run, and you saw it, like price got rejected from this fair value gap here, right? And let's see if price takes out this this low here and hits this fair value gap. unfilled 4-hour fair value gap. I do see a inverse volume imbalance here. Nothing yet. No clean setup. I don't see anything. Do you guys see anything? Let me know in the chat if you see any setup forming right now. I do see these order blocks right here. I don't see any breaker block though. I think today I won't be able to find any clean setup that I'm willing to take, right? It's 10:03 and our time is getting out, right? Soon it's gonna be 10:10. After that I'm not gonna be pushing the button. So let's see in 7 minutes if price is presenting a setup or not. It's time to watch for silver bullet. Silver bullet. Okay, we can also look for that, but I'm expecting a run on this low here first, then I'll look for a silver bullet, not before that. Warzone is saying since we are in a downtrend, Thursdays normally peaks the low on New York session. Therefore, there is a high chance US 30 goes up since we made low of the week on US 30. Any thoughts? Oh my god, you are making me so confused. I'm not thinking like that. What Thursday low, that low, other than that low? What's that, folks? What's that Warzone? I always keep it simple. I see a low here. I see an unfilled fair value gap here. Price should come down, tap into it. I don't know about Thursday low, Friday low. I very less that I care about that. I keep it simple like this. I see a low here. Okay. Will price reverse from this low? It doesn't matter if it's a Thursday low or Friday low or whatever that low. What matters is that why price should reverse from here. I'm looking for a logic. Okay, so I have no thoughts on yeah, ICT says that on his mentorship, but I don't follow it. I'm looking for a run on this sell side liquidity, then a run on buy side. That's what I'm expecting. That's how I keep it. That's how I see it. Simple, very simple. Couple of lines. That's it. And I do see a lot of relative equal highs here. So I think price will run here without providing me a setup though. If it does that, it's okay. We will have a weekend to trade on crypto. So I see a lot of choppiness here. Price is chopping, right? That's what I see. Every single, I've been trading, I've been live streaming for like 4 weeks. Do you guys ever heard me talking about, okay, this low, 8:30 open, 9:30 open? No, I don't use those stuff. For me, I only look for my setup in between those, the time frame that I tell you, 8:20 to 8:30, 9:20 to 9:30, 9:50 to 10:10, 10:50 to 11:10. That's it. That's it. That's the only thing that I use. Okay, other than that, I don't use anything else. It doesn't matter to me if price is going above 8:30 opening. Mind, if you are using that, okay, it works as an extra confirmation. Those things will give you confidence in your trade. Those are not trade itself. Okay, I do use those, but not often. What I believe in, that I should control my emotion, that's the holy grail. A setup, a concept, it's not. It's not to me. If it's holy grail to you, stick with it. Maybe it's giving you money, right? So I'm expecting a run on this sell side, this low here. So let's see what price does. Price already rejected from this order block here a couple of times. Price closed the candle's body above and then run here, right? Got rejected from this order block and this fair value gap here. Then price came down, hit this order block again, got rejected. So I want to see price coming down and going below this low right here. Let's look at the higher time frame. What's it showing to us? Yeah, if it takes out this low, I think I will have a clean setup. It's 10:08. What laggard? Renato is saying 6 minutes. Laggard, start talking. Do we have another high impact news? I only saw one though. Let's check anyway. We don't have a high impact news. I think laggard is on low impact, huh? At 10:30 we do have a news release, that is natural gas storage. So I will also keep in mind that, because natural gas storage is showing it's a low impact news, okay? But I saw a price getting volatile at this news. That's the only low impact news that I care about. So yeah, let's see if price presenting us any setup at 10:50. Sorry, 10:20. Okay, I'm gonna look for a setup right now. Keeping that thing in mind, because this will provide a lot of liquidity. And if I'm firing a clean setup, okay, my TP will get hit like in 10 minutes or 5 minutes, because of the volatility that will come with this natural gas storage release. Okay, look at the reason that I'm telling you guys to look for this, to keep in mind this low impact news. Look at the results, look at the report. 51 billion forecast they are forecasting. So it's not a low impact news. Every low impact news, look at the forecast, negative 1.7%, 5.6%. Those doesn't matter. This news here, it's behaving, is providing us liquidity like a high impact news. Previously, this one 79 billion. Wow. Let's look at this on a graph. Yeah, so the recent report that came out on April 27, that was positive. So if the natural gas report is coming out positive, what can we expect? The report came out negatively in last week's, right, March 9, and for last couple of days we saw price looking for buy side liquidity, hunting buy side liquidity aggressively. So let's see what happens. The report that is coming on natural gas is positive. Me personally, I don't care about report though. So yeah, let's see what price does here. We can predict the report by using the chart, by using the algo. by using ICT concept. Price is rejecting from this order block again, right? And it generated relative equal lows on Nasdaq. Look at the lows that it generated. Trend line liquidity. If I put a trend line here, right, what the retail traders will think, okay, they will wait for this trend line to break and then short. So let's see how price behaves from this trend line. This trend line broke right now, right? So let's see what from where price can reject. Okay, for me, I want to see a run on this low, but price can reject after before that. So a possible scenario, a possible place for price to reject would be this low right here. So let's see how price behaves. Okay, we are inside of our silver bullet zone. Do you see any silver bullet setup? I do see a silver bullet setup here. That's a fair value gap, right? Price rejected from this fair value gap, but because of the choppiness, I'm not willing to take this trade using this silver bullet setup. Price is respecting this fair value gap though, but look at the choppiness. In high resistance liquidity run, I'm not willing to take it. US 500, the same thing. No fair value gap though. I do see a fair value gap here, but I want to see this fair value gap getting filled. Nah, I don't like this choppiness. Do you see why I'm avoiding this silver bullet again today? Look at that. I do see a fair value gap and I do see a target, right? But suppose you are taking this setup. So your trade idea would be something like this. An execution here, stop loss. If you measure this big wick, that's a big wick, right? So if you measure this wick right here, your stop loss should be aligned with the upper quadrant. Okay, so stop loss would be here, target would be 2R like this here. So that's what I see by using silver bullet. But because of the high resistance liquidity run, I'm not willing to take this setup personally. I don't like choppiness. For me, I like a straight move towards my TP. I want to get done in 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. That's the max. If I'm trading on like 1 minute chart, 5 minutes, it's like good, okay, acceptable. 10 minutes, that's the max I'm holding. And in this run, you can see the price is in a high resistance liquidity run, so I will not take this trade. But I do see a setup though. That's a fair value gap, and in silver bullet zone, ICT tells us to look for a fair value gap, then to see if this setup is getting valid or not, if price is providing support towards the buy side or sell side or not. And we do see we have a target this low, right? And price is revisiting this fair value gap again and again. Yeah, it's very normal before an NFP day. Yesterday I told you guys, before a high impact news, price will generate liquidity, and then it will take the liquidity in that high impact news. Okay, so is it 10:30? No. 10:16. And price is still respecting our analysis though, right? Our stop loss didn't got hit by like couple of tick. But your broker will hit your stop loss here. So I was right in the whole analysis here, right? When price was going up, did you heard me saying, okay, guys, I do see price going up right now, let's buy? Did I ever told you that? When price was in this bullish run, I told you, okay, I don't like it. When price generated this swing low, I told you I don't like this swing low. Why? Because look at the volume, okay, folks. When price came back up, right, and got rejected after taking this swing low, look at the candle's body. That's the reason it's so low. A perfect swing low would be something like this. Price is hitting the inversion that I outlined when I started my stream today. So let's see after that if price provides us a setup or not. A perfect swing low would be like this. This whole candle, below it, it can have wick, but not small like this. And it is something comes with experience. I saw price doing things like this and coming back down again and again. Okay, so you saw me outlining a silver bullet setup in front of you, and it did gave you a chance to entry. I personally, I didn't took it. I don't like the condition that is here, but maybe you took it, and you can see the price is still generating profit. If you hold it till down here, till this inversion, till the fair value gap that I outlined, this 4-hour fair value gap, this would have been a like 2.79 hour trade, 2.80 hour trade. And when price was going up, you never heard me saying, okay, I think price will go up and let's target these relative equal highs. Do you heard me saying that? No. Rather, I told you, watch this fair value gap and let's see from which fair value gap price get rejected. I wanted to see a rejection in price. From this fair value gap price got rejected, right? Price came down. In any of these moves, did you heard me saying, okay, I do see a buy, let's buy? No. I was sticking with my analysis. And what do you see here? What do you see on NASDAQ? Hindsight, right? Is it hindsight? From where price is rejecting? From where? If you have been watching the stream since the beginning, I outlined this inversion in front of you and I told you, okay, that's a good place for price to reverse. And I shared the logic. If you don't know it, go back and listen to the live stream. You'll be able to find the logic that I shared with you. Price came down, filled this 4-hour fair value gap, then reversing. Price came down on NASDAQ, hit this inversion, now rejecting. So that's an inversion that I outlined in front of you on NASDAQ, right? Do you remember? This is the fair value gap that I was talking about. This inversion. Do you heard me outlining it or talking about this reversal from this inversion here? Do you heard it? If you heard it and if you remember, say yes in the chat. This freaking inversion. And did you heard me on US 30? I think you didn't, huh? I'm waiting for a reversal in price from this fair value gap, from this 4-hour fair value gap. I told you if price is reversing from here, that would be an ideal scenario for me to think about buy, right? Let's see if I present us any setup. If price presents us any setup. Now the price got rejected from this fair value gap, 4-hour fair value gap. Let's see if price provides us any setup. I do see a lot of relative equal high, okay? Right here. So this would be an easy target. On Nasdaq, I also do see relative equal highs here. I think price will not provide me any setup. It will just generate liquidity for tomorrow, right? And it will leave this relative equal high. You don't take it out, and tomorrow I think if it does something like this, right, not taking out this relative equal high, not filling these gaps, a lot of relative equal high, relative equal high, relative equal high, so price is generating liquidity for tomorrow, I guess. You don't provide me any clean setup. It's running aggressively towards the sell side. But I'm still gonna tape read, so let's see what price does. This silver bullet trade was so profitable. Did anyone took silver bullet trade? If you took it, say yes, okay? On which chart you took it? On US 500, on US I don't see any silver bullet setup. I do see a fair value gap here, right? And we are still inside of our silver bullet though, so US 500, you guys took a trade on US 500 using this fair value gap, right? A better setup was on US 30 though. And I do see another setup formed, this fair value gap here on US 100. Okay, price did not reverse from the level that I expected. Okay, it showed a reversal here. It took the liquidity here again. It's inside of our green box that I outlined. Okay, let me put it back again. I think I deleted it. What? Okay, price did a stop hunt here on US 30. Where is our breaker block? Our breaker block is this last top close candle. That's our breaker block. So let's see if price goes above that or not. Marco is saying yes from volume imbalance on 1 minute chart after rejection from old new week opening gap low on ES. What are you talking about? On 1 minute chart there's a volume imbalance. Which volume imbalance? I think this volume imbalance, right? I do see a volume imbalance here, but I don't see any other volume imbalance though. I do see a fair value gap here, but this fair value gap, this run on this fair value gap is not inside the silver bullet. David is saying that breaker block on 1 minute on US 30 is in 1 minute fair value gap. That makes it a unicorn. This breaker block is not activated yet. We want to see price coming up, closing a candle's body above this breaker block, and then this breakout block will get activated. So price is going towards the sell side, right? So let's see from where price can reject. We do have a news at 10:30 though, keep that in mind. Natural gas storage. So is there any place from where price can reject? I don't think so, right? But I do see a fair value gap here, so I'll just outline it. On Nasdaq, price is still inside of the inversion that I outlined. I'm still waiting for a reversal though. I do see equal high. I'm not selling. I'm only gonna take trade with the trade that will give me a signal for buy. Okay, Mentor actually provided a signal, huh? I think what Marco is talking about, Mentor himself gave a signal like that on ES. OG is saying US 100 is in weekly fair value gap at EQ and could possibly push towards 32,917 on US 100, 32,917, and that could be a solid point for reversal. Morgore is saying, really appreciate your tape reading and putting the time into teaching us, although I often think about what ICT says for the week of NFP, and today is a great example of doing something else instead. Marco Velikonza is saying yes. Okay, so me personally, I'm like a very cautious person before the high impact news, okay, and before the day of high impact news, because those days are when price manipulates a lot. And these days I prefer not to move with chart, not to move with price, rather follow my one directional bias. My bias is bullish. I want to see price taking out this relative equal high, this high, right? So I think it won't do it today. It will just leave it for tomorrow, and NFP, it will just come up, shoot towards the buy side, and it will take all of it out tomorrow. Look at the inversion that I outlined on Nasdaq, how price is respecting it by not closing a candle's body below it. Do you see it? Look at each of these candles, and now tell me there's no algo. Let's see if price rejects from this old 50-minute fair value gap on US 30. If it does that, I want to see what I want to see on US 30. If this fair value gap, old fair value gap, providing us a reversal in price, I want to see this fair value gap that you see here, the CB, price coming up and closing a candle body above it. Once it does that, I will use this CB as an inversion, this failed fair value gap as an inversion. So let's see what price does. ES about to hit old 60-minute new week opening gap. S&P is about to hit another new week opening gap. Okay, you guys are talking a lot about new week, S&P today. Okay, I think it's visible on ES, not on US 500 anyway. So price is not reversing from this fair value gap, right? I'm still gonna wait for 1050 to 1110 macro to provide me a setup. After that, I'll close the stream. So that will be my last line of defense for today. A reversal can happen at PM session. Okay, in between the time zone from 12 to 1:30, a reversal can happen that time. So should I keep doing live stream till that long, or should I close? Let's see. If price is not providing me a setup at 1050 to 1110 macro, I think I'll keep continuing the tape reading, or maybe I'll close. Okay, look at this inversion. Look at this fair value gap that I outlined on US 100 1-minute chart. Let's see if this candle closes its body above this inversion. Thomas is saying US 100 negative breaker block at 9:15 2-minute. Would you consider entry at 10:18 on normal day? Okay, US 100 breaker block at 9:58 on 2-minute chart. 9:58. I think you were talking about this 9:58. Okay, this breaker block, yeah. I would consider a entry here even today if there was no equal high. Look at the equal high here, relative equal highs, then relative equal high. So I will not consider this short, but other than that, if there was no equal high, I would have like shorted from here. Yeah, that's a swing high, price took it, and from the measurement from this swing, like if you measure the price from here to the low, right, where does the premium come in? Premium comes in at here. So price did hit a premium PD area. That's the order block, right? Price hit it. Price did a stop hunt at the same time. So this down close candle becomes order block. If it was, if price wasn't producing equal highs, generating equal highs, I would have taken this setup. Okay, let's forget about this setup. And for your answer, Thomas, yeah, I would have considered this as a clean setup in a normal day, in a clean day. Price is reversing from this inversion level. On 1-minute chart, let's go back to the 1-minute chart. Price did close the candle's body above though. So am I gonna get an entry? Let's wait and see. This fair value gap is getting failed as I expected. Okay, so now let's see if price uses this fair value gap to get support. Okay, the inversion that I outlined this morning on US 100, price got reversed from here, right? Came down onto it, got reversed once, twice, couple more times it consolidated here. At 10:30 nothing happened, so the low impact news didn't actually provide much. Okay, so let's measure this gap right here real quick. Let's see if I can see any setup. Marco is saying buy will maybe in PM session as there is mostly sell side order flow at the moment. We don't know, right? But ideal scenario for a reversal is on PM session, Marco. That's like an ideal scenario. But let's see what it does. Okay. Angel is saying close and come back again at that time. If I'm closing, I'm not coming back. Trial is saying stay. Okay. Let's see. Ryan is saying keep the stream up. Maria is saying the tape reading is my favorite part and you think you are making no progress and then suddenly you understand something new. It clicks, more valuable than signals. The value that with tape reading is that like you learn how to outline a setup, okay, in real time. Maybe you won't be able to do that in just a couple of days, but when you do, okay, it's amazing. It's amazing, and it makes you to follow the rules aggressively, okay? It makes you aggressive towards following the rules. That's the reason that I focus more on tape reading than forcing a trade idea. I do see a fair value gap here on Nasdaq, and I think it will fail. This fair value gap too failed, so I think a buy will not happen, right? And I do believe that it will happen at PM session. I wanted to use this fair value gap as an inversion, but you can see the price didn't even give me a chance to use it. That's the magic with the rules that I built it, okay, for me. Even if my analysis is wrong because of the rules, okay, I want to see price closing candles body above the fair value gap. And then at the next candle I would have entered. But look at the next candle. Where did it open? Below this candle, and it was providing sell side liquidity aggressively. So price didn't even give me a chance to lose money. And you will see it most of the time. I'm tape reading here in front of you. I'm explaining, I'm talking to you with like open heart. And whatever I'm looking here, I'm telling to you. And price will not give me a chance if my analysis is wrong. That's the magic with rules, folks. If you have a rules, right? Suppose my analysis here was wrong, right? I wanted to see price going up. Price rejected this from this fair value gap, and I waited for this inversion fair value gap to work as an inversion. Did it work? No. So do you guys see now how rules is giving me value? And this fair value gap failed, okay? I'll use this fair value gap as inversion if it's coming back up and closing candles body above here again, but I also do see equal lows though. Is it a SMT with US 500? Is it a SMT? Let's check it out real quick. It's not a SMT. Price is still moving towards the sell side. How many times you saw me missing a setup today? And did you heard any oriness in my voice? You don't see me, so you won't be able to like guess what my reaction on my face. But from the voice, do you ever heard me saying anything that feels like FOMO? I personally feel no emotion when I miss a setup. Zero, okay? Sometimes I do. When I'm trading alone, like suppose if I wasn't live streaming, I would have been like, okay, I missed a setup, and if I feel a FOMO, okay, I just leave the chart that time. I'm a human being, and the ego and then all those FOMO, it keeps coming back to me, okay? I'm not like a monk. They're like out of everything. No, I'm not in that level. But when I do feel that, I close the stream. I'll just leave. To me now, right now, I don't feel anything because I know before NFP price will do something like that. I expected it. I know I should be more cautious before NFP day because price manipulates from my experience, from my journals. Okay, someone today, David, I guess his name was David on Telegram, he was asking me how do I journal, okay? And I did made a folder for him to show him an example of journaling. When I found ICT from the very first day, I was journaling. Okay, so I think price will not provide me a setup, so let me show you that how I journal and how I did journal though. So it's just a part of the journals that I do. I'll share it with you here. Okay, before I do, let's focus on the chart. Let's see if price closing candles body above here. Nah, forget about it. I do see relative equal low. I won't take this setup. But that's a clean retest though. Really, if price was like doing something like coming back down and then retesting it slowly and then moving, I would have like told you guys, okay, I do see a trade idea before I say it to you. This move happened, and you can see the price retested this fair value gap, this inversion, this failed fair value gap beautifully, right? It didn't even give me a chance to entry, so forget about the entries today. So that's how I journaled. I didn't use a, what do you say, Notion template. I didn't. So the very first week that I found ICT, it was on 2023, 6 January, February, March, May, June. On June, that's when I started journaling with ICT concept. So US 30 week 1, that's basically with ICT concept. What I did, I Dow SMT in divergence showing the party. Okay, what I did is basically I journal like this. I wrote everything in the chart. So that's the very chart. That's the very single time, very first time I was doing tape reading, learning with ICT concept, demo trading, right? So you can see that how I used to mark. Okay, do you see the difference between then versus now? 6 June 2022, and I was marking fair value gaps like this, sell side liquidity, hourly fair value gap. Then I was writing what I was thinking. They took it into sell side liquidity. Okay, ignore my English. Okay, it's not that good. I was talking to myself and the chart. Okay, so that's the reason I wrote it like this. Is my personal journal, and you were sneaking into it, so just ignore how I write it. Anyway, so that's how it is. I'm just showing you how I did it. That's how I did it. I didn't use the Notion. I just wrote everything on my chart, all my thoughts and the fair value gaps that I was looking at, how price was behaving and all that good stuff, right? I was outlining setup from fair value gap. I didn't know at that time which fair value gap will work, so I was like writing it down, right, like this in the chart. That takes a lot of time, and I was willing to put the time, so I was writing it, and I was looking at, okay, if price is hitting this fair value gap and going towards the buy side, okay, I will write my thoughts why I think like that. And if price was then coming back down, right, I was also writing every thoughts that I had in my mind. You can see that is here visible. That's the week 1. No, not a lot of progress, but I wasn't someone who was like in a mood to quit. Okay, I was also using retail stuff. I was a retail before that. You can see that I was looking for patterns. What do you call this pattern? A flag pattern, I guess, right? So I was looking into that. Anyway, that's the order block that I marked, I guess. So you can see the difference between then and now. US 30 week 2, that's the next week. And you can see that I marked Friday. I think Friday was really good that week for me. And you can see the outlined the setup, right? I'm not faking anything. It's all real. You can see the date, 17 June 2022. I marked now I don't use the 8:30 opening, but before I was using it. You can see that there's a breaker block setup. That time I didn't had a model. Okay, I was only trading with fair value gap 2022 mentorship model. You can clearly see that that's a breaker block here, right? So if I suppose I was trading right now, I'd have prioritized this breaker block model rather than taking this trade using this fair value gap. Then a lot of journals like this. I think that day was really good for me. I think I outlined a couple of setup and it hit my TP. So what's the logic? The logic that I was using is simple. The way my mentor told, I wasn't complicating anything. If a fair value gap is on discount, look for buy. Okay, so this fair value gap is on discount. I'm buying. I'm a new. I don't know what other logics I should use. This fair value gap is on premium, so I should sell from it, right? I was selling. I wasn't executing, okay? I was focusing more on tape reading. Look, did I outline any breaker block? Do you see a breaker block here? Yes. This higher high, new higher high. So this down close candle becomes a breaker block. I didn't knew that time, okay? I found it later on. Then I have like every single day here outlined. Monday, Friday. I even wrote like how my bias. So my bias is bearish, so price should not leave equal high, right? So I wrote everything. When I go back to these things, the writings and the improvements that I see in myself, it really fascinates me, okay? You can tell by looking at my charts. I was a newbie not very long ago. I'm trying to find the execution. I want to see from which day I started executing. On week 3 you can see no execution. It's all tape reading. I was strictly, okay, from the very beginning I was strictly following my mentor's rule. So no execution here and there. It's all tape reading. I think I started executing after 1 or 2 months. Okay, the execution is here. From at the fourth week, I executed, and look at the caption. Friday was a good week. Okay, I was closing the week, and you can see that I executed here, right? And my TP was here. Execution using the fair value gap. I was only using fair value gap 2022 mentorship. I was only focusing there. Every time I watched a video, after that I was coming back to my chart and I was trying to find what I learned. That's how I was learning. Execution here, TP here, then another execution here, back-to-back execution using fair value gap. So you can see that after like 2-3 weeks I started executing, right? That's how I started learning. I journaled every loss, every profit that I took, and it goes on like this. Like week 4, week 5, week 6, week 7, I will open. I didn't put some of the weeks here. So week 25, you will see the difference. It doesn't take much of a time, folks, to improve. Look at my charts now. Week 1, week 2, week 3, I showed you charts then, and look at the charts now. Look at my execution here, okay? I was using other concept. That time I was strictly with fair value gap, but I started using other concept from like I guess week 6 or 7. Let's open the folder at week 10. Right, so you don't need Notion. If you are using computer, you can just do it. And execution here using fair value gap again. So fair value gap was really good to me, okay? And yeah, that's how I did it. And if you guys are interested in my journals, I do have like everything outlined. And I also was backtesting. I was also looking at gold, okay? Then gold didn't work out. September 2022. Everything is here on September. Not much of a trade that I found last year on September. Then loss. That's a folder that I won't open. It's all like full of losses. Bitcoin, a lot of backtesting. So yeah, I was also trading at USD CAD, but I didn't continue it. I didn't found the edge there, win. So yeah, I also made a spreadsheet to journal everything. So that's everything. That's how I journaled, folks. And let's go back to our chart. Let's start talking about it. Wow, I'm really glad that I didn't took it. Price didn't give me a chance to took it, okay? But there was a setup though. There is a setup now. Let's see. I do see a breaker block. Price did a stop hunt here. Price took out these relative equal lows, okay? So these up close candles becomes our breaker block. Let's see if price is like respecting this breaker block. Patrick is saying got funded today 100k 10%, thanks news, blocked. Fake is fake, okay? A person
Do you guys really think that he has enough time to come in my chat and let you guys know that he passed a funded challenge? It's all fake. Don't trust them. How long you have been trading live? When I was a retail, it's been like I think more than 1 year though. And the time when I made consistent money, it's I started making consistent money for like it's 6 months, 6 or 7 months. I found my breaker block model and it's been like 4 months. I found macros with it, so yeah, that's how it is. So that's the breaker block and price is getting support from it, right? We are inside of our macro and let's take this setup. Entry would be here, stop loss below here, target 2R. Okay, price is giving us chance to enter. Let's take it on demo rather than taking it on do I see any fair value gap? Okay, let's execute it here. Let's see how price behaves. Execution done. I'm not taking it on my live funds. I don't want to at this condition. And execution, position, orders, everything. And the stop loss would be here. Mentor himself saying he took a loss, right? TP here. Partial will be here. If you're taking it, take it on demo. Partial would be above here. A partial would be above here. So how many contracts should I take off here? Trade. It's on demo, but I use a demo account like I would trade on my live funds. So I'll take like 6 off. Here limit, sell. That's the limit. Why I'm putting my take profit here? Because that's the level, okay? Price can come up and reject from these wicks here. It can do that. But I don't want to see it. Once price goes above, okay, at the very next candle, I'll minimize my stop loss right now. And I will put it right here. That will be the midway of this breaker block, okay? We are inside of our macro though. Look at the time. When did this breaker block setup got activated? Look at the time. Time, folks. 0.5, so it's below the midway. Okay, I'll put it like this. Yeah, that's stop loss. Okay. So now I minimize the risk, okay? Let's see if price respects our trade idea or not. Okay, on both sides I had the same chart. US 500, US 100. Wow, US 100. Look at the rejection in price from US 100 from this inversion that I outlined. I called the very low of the day today. Do you guys saw it? Do you guys saw me outlining this fair value gap in front of you when I started my live stream and I told you, okay, a reversal from here is very much possible. Do you saw me calling it, calling the market? If you have been here since the beginning, I really appreciate you for your presence. Do you remember it? Say yes if you remember it. Me calling the market from this inversion. So now the price is moving in my favor. I'll put that stop loss in my entry. I don't care if it's coming back down and right. So my stop loss is at entry. I'm not willing to take a loss. So yeah. Wow, look at this here, folks. That's the reason I didn't took it on my live funds. Look at US 100 price generated relative equal high. So we know that price should come up here and take it out. It's the drawn liquidity. It's very much visible, right? But price is doing something else. Price is getting rejected from this fair value gap. Let's see if this fair value gap holds price or not. That's a fair value gap here. So this will be the last line of defense for us to expect price to run the buy side. So I'll minimize. I'll put my stop loss here again. I'll minimize more of my risk. What's wrong with these ticks? Look at the tick. It's showing 1000, 2000 tick. What's up? I think there's something wrong with the ticks here in my chart. Let's put it back to the money. Okay, like tick is showing me wrong. It's not 1000 ticks, okay? Class ICT is asking me why I was so sure that that inversion would be a reversal point. Go back to the live stream and listen to it again. I explained to it in details to you. Wow, price came down so near to my stop loss. Let's see if it hits it or not. Okay, we are out. So yeah, that's a trade idea that you saw me outlining inside of our macro zone, right? My entry was here, perfect, and my stop loss placing was here, perfect, no loss, nothing. Price didn't even give us a partial, folks. So you can see the reason me behind not pushing the button on my life funds, right? If you are in this trade, you can still hold, but that's how I manage my trade. Once price is leaving breaker block, I don't expect to see price coming back down in this breaker block again, right? No loss. It was just a setup that I entered. Maria is saying I took the trade only minimal contracts as I didn't like how the loss didn't have a better sweep. Came out with a small partial. You did it well, Maria. Congrats. So do you guys see it now? If I was holding this trade, okay, if I was like using and hoping, right, and suppose I put my stop loss below the swing low, my stop loss got hit, right? So why just hope and let price take money from you? Why? That's the reason I put my stop loss here above the entry, okay? Even if it's coming down, I'm not taking any loss. No one is stopping me to be a little bit more cautious, a little bit more safe. So why not just be safe? I'm here to make money, not lose money. I'll have to take step, that step that will like save me from taking a loss. And I took that step in front of you. I pushed the button here. You can see the execution if I toggle on the levels, okay? Executions level 33,081 here. Comes in here, perfect execution. Partial was here, TP was 2R, right? Price didn't give us a TP. I saw it, I told you guys that a run on this candle's body would be possible. That's what I was expecting minimum, okay? Didn't even give it to us. On Nasdaq, look at Nasdaq. Suppose you are putting your TP here. That's the minimum we are expecting, right? Did Nasdaq took this liquidity? No, it didn't. It just came up, generated another equal high, then left. So that's something, folks, comes with experience. You will be able to understand like when you should not trade, when you should not push your button on the live fund, and when you should do that in a condition like this, especially before the NFP. Okay, if you liked my execution, if you liked how I talked about this analysis, shared this analysis with you, if you did that, can you please hit that thumbs up? Can you please show me that you support me? And it inspires me to keep this live stream free and me coming out in front of you talking for hours, okay? It inspires me. Likes, it does not give me any money. Okay, just an inspiration. So if you can do it, I will appreciate it. So I think that will be it for today, folks. I don't see anything. I don't like anything in this market condition. Right, I wanted to see a reversal from here. Price did that. But I wanted to see a reversal from this inversion on US 100. Price did that to that tick precision, folks. And yeah, and this breaker block is still providing support, right? What retails will do, they will still hold this trade, okay? Though the people who are still holding, you are the freaking retail, okay? Look, each of these candles, after it hit my stop loss, it's generating hope inside the retails right now. Each of these candles, when they moved up, the retails, okay, Hydra closed it, Hydra is wrong, now it will hit my TP. It won't. Look at the very next candle. It's generating emotion inside the retail. Do you see any emotion inside me? No, I stopped myself from getting emotional by trailing the stop loss. Okay, that's how you do it. You don't like it, you don't belong here. Just leave. Anyway, I'll closing this session here, folks. It's been a long day for me. Like, that's the longest I think I've been trading, live streaming, to be honest. So yeah, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. And if you learned anything here, I really appreciate that. That's why I'm here to do it. Tape reading. Okay, do you see the importance of tape reading now? Yes, it's magical, right? It takes the greedy person out of you and it puts back the person that you wanna be, that we dream to become, a successful fucking trader, right? Now, do you see the, okay, I won't close. Okay, I wanna see the retails getting chopped up. Do you see the logic behind why I closed that trade right now? These candles are here to generate emotion inside you. Don't let it do that, folks. Don't let it do that. Use logic in your trade. With that saying, I'm closing it. Take care, peace, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow at 8:15 a.m. as usual, and we'll watch the news together. We will learn together. That's it for today. I'm closing. Bye bye.